Are you tired of comparing yourself to others and feeling envious of their seemingly perfect lives? In this video, we're taking a deep dive into Stoicism and how its principles can help us overcome the destructive cycle of envy and comparison. Lesson 1. You see the edited version, not the truth. The world often shows us a filtered version of life. People share their best moments and hide their pain. What you see is not the whole story. Social media, casual conversations, and public appearances rarely show the truth. They are like a painting with bright colors that hides the cracks beneath. Stoicism teaches us to look beyond appearances. The Stoics remind us that life is complex for everyone, even for those who seem to have it all. When you envy someone, you are reacting to the version they choose to show. This is not the truth of their life. No one shares every moment of struggle or doubt. Everyone has challenges they carry in silence. The Stoics teach us that wisdom begins when we stop chasing illusions. What you see is an edited scene. The real story often has struggle, loss, and fear. When you catch yourself feeling envy, pause. Tell yourself that you are looking at a fragment. The rest is hidden. This thought brings peace. You begin to understand that perfection is an illusion. You do not need to compete with an image that is not even complete. This truth frees you from the trap of constant comparison. You no longer measure your life against a highlight from someone else's story. You start to live in your own reality. You accept that life is a mixture of joy and pain for everyone. You see that the edited version is not worth your peace.
Lesson 2. Stop comparing your backstage to their highlight reel. Your life has quiet moments. It has struggles, unfinished plans, and small victories. These moments are real. They make you human. But when you compare them to someone else's highlight reel, you will always feel less. Their highlight reel is made of their best moments. It is their peak moments captured in light. It hides a dullness and struggle. Stoicism warns us against this trap. Comparison is the thief of contentment. The moment you compare, you put yourself in a race you never agreed to run. This race has no finish line. It only has more envy and less peace. Your backstage is where you grow. It is where you prepare, fail, and learn. It is messy and unseen. The highlight reel of another person is a performance. It is polished and bright. Comparing the two is like comparing a workshop to a showroom. The workshop is where the real work happens. The showroom is only the display. The Stoics remind us to focus on our own stage. We have our own path and our own timing. Life is not meant to be judged by how it looks from the outside. The value of life is in the work you do, the virtues you grow, and the peace you keep. You rob yourself of joy when you compare. You forget your own progress. You ignore the distance you have already walked. You'll focus on what you think you lack instead of what you truly have. This is why the Stoics tell us to keep our eyes on our own life. Every person has a backstage. No one's backstage is without flaws. No one's backstage is free from fear. You are not alone in your struggles. You are only seeing the clean version of someone else's journey. Once you accept this, you stop chasing after what is not real.
Lesson 3. Be curious, not competitive. When you see someone succeed, the mind often wants to compete. It wants to be faster, richer, or more admired. This is natural, but it is not wise. Stoicism teaches us that competition with others often leads to restlessness. Instead of competing, be curious. The Stoics valued learning from every source. They believed that every person you meet can teach you something. The person you envy may have skills you can develop. They may have habits you can adopt. They may have faced challenges you can understand. Competition can close your heart. Curiosity opens it. When you compete, you measure yourself against someone else. When you are curious, you measure yourself only against your past self. You see the other person as a teacher, not an opponent. This change in thinking removes envy. It replaces it with gratitude. You begin to value the success of others because it inspires you. You see their journey as proof of what is possible. This turns envy into energy for your own growth. The Stoics remind us that life is not a race against each other. It is a journey toward wisdom and virtue. Curiosity feeds this journey. Competition distracts from it. Lesson 4. Remember, every life has hidden struggles. Every life carries unseen burdens. People rarely show their deepest struggles. Some carry grief, some carry fear, some carry regret. The outside may shine, but the inside may ache. Stoicism teaches us to remember this truth. No life is free from pain. This thought softens envy. It reminds us that we are all walking through challenges, even if they are invisible. The person you envy may be fighting battles you do not see. They may be facing family troubles. They may be struggling with health. They may be living with silent loneliness. The perfect life you see is often a surface view. Beneath it, there is the same human mix of joy and sorrow. The Stoics knew that life is never one-sided. Even in moments of success, there is still struggle. Even in moments of peace, there is still uncertainty. This is the nature of life. When you remember this, your heart becomes gentle. You stop judging your life as worse. You stop imagining that others have escaped life's storms. You begin to see that everyone is human. Everyone has a story filled with light and shadow. Lesson 4. Remember, every life has hidden struggles. Every life carries unseen burdens. People rarely show their deepest struggles. Some carry grief, some carry fear, some carry regret. The outside may shine, but the inside may ache. Stoicism teaches us to remember this truth. No life is free from pain. This thought softens envy. It reminds us that we are all walking through challenges, even if they are invisible. The person you envy may be fighting battles you do not see. They may be facing family troubles. They may be struggling with health. They may be living with silent loneliness. The perfect life you see is often a surface view. Beneath it, there is the same human mix of joy and sorrow. The Stoics knew that life is never one-sided. Even in moments of success, there is still struggle. Even in moments of peace, there is still uncertainty. This is the nature of life. When you remember this, your heart becomes gentle. You stop judging your life as worse. You stop imagining that others have escaped life's storms. You begin to see that everyone is human. Everyone has a story filled with light and shadow. Lesson 5. Value virtue over appearance. The Stoics believed that virtue is the highest good. Virtue means living with wisdom, courage, justice, and self-control. It is the strength of character that stays with you no matter what life looks like on the outside. Appearance fades. Wealth can be lost. Fame can disappear. But virtue remains. This is why Stoicism tells us to value virtue more than appearance. The lives we envy often shine with outer success, but outer success does not guarantee inner peace. A life rich in virtue is richer than a life rich in appearance. The Stoics remind us that our worth is not measured by how others see us. It is measured by how we live, how we treat others, and how we handle challenges. When you focus on virtue, envy loses power. You no longer care about winning in the eyes of the world. You care about winning in the eyes of your own conscience. You care about being fair, kind, and wise. Lesson 6. Follow your own path. The Stoics believed each person has their own path. This path is shaped by nature, choices, and values. When you follow your own path, you live with purpose. You stop being pulled by the lives of others. Envy grows when you stray from your path. It grows when you measure your steps by someone else's journey. But their path is not yours. Their timing is not your timing. Their struggles are not your struggles. Your path is unique. It may be slower, it may be quieter, it may look less glamorous, but it is yours. It is where your lessons and growth are waiting. The Stoics teach us to honor this path, to walk it with patience and courage. When you focus on your own path, you stop needing to compare. You stop wondering if you are behind. You trust that your path will take you where you need to go. This trust brings peace. The Stoics knew that freedom comes when you stop living for the approval of others. When you walk your path with virtue, you find meaning that envy cannot touch. You live for what is right, not for what looks impressive.